Good evening everybody, welcome to Apex Racing TV for rounds 21 to 24 of the BSR MX5 Winter Series. Good evening everybody, I'm Andrew Woodhouse alongside Alex Simpson, iRacing Road Pro Series champion. Alex, welcome. Monza, it's a place that you love, but not as we know it, my friend.
No, the little short version, junior layout it is, I believe. And yeah, all those big, lovely straights that we enjoyed the slipstreaming on and the great battles. Well, we haven't really got them, but tell you what, I think it should be a good, close, fun race here as well. Pretty simple. Parabolic is still in play, and then we swing to the right halfway down the main straight. It's kind of technical through that little bit. Get a good exit onto the back straight. You sort of join after the Ascari. So yeah, we'll see. We actually are seeing quite wild times sort of varying, aren't we, in qualifying, which we're quite surprised about.
It's a little more than what we thought that it was going to be. Yeah, quite a tough section in there. I think we'll see some overtaking later on. Just a quick look at the very quick look at the championship standings. Anwar Smith leads the way by 40 points. Peter Van Gool, Brian Holmes is in second place. Peter Van Gool's 1 point behind him. Then it's Aeronom in fourth and Jamie Ayres in fifth. And onto the grid, Peter Van Gool on the pole, with Josh Thompson second, Brian Holmes third, Aeronom in fourth, and Nick McCarron in fifth. Anwar Smith, championship leader, is in sixth. Ben Hackerson seventh, Adam Hedgecock eighth, Adam McNally ninth, and Jamie Ayres in 10th. We're just about ready for the start here on Apex Racing TV for round 1 of 4 this evening. We hope you can stick with us for all of those. Any moment now, you're going to be underway here at Monza. Green light is on, good start by Van Gool. Got away really well, minimised the wheel spin. Thompson didn't get a brilliant start. Looks like Aeronom is pressuring into the first corner. Reasonably tight corner this, actually. Still decently fast in this MX5, and you can see now threading through the trees. An interesting concept of, interesting part of the track here. Reminds me a bit. Oh, spinner. Number 17, Jamie Ayres has spun right on the exit of the junior section. Most of them managed to avoid him, but is dropping down the order to about 25th, maybe 30th place now.
Yeah, it's going to be way down, 29th at the moment, holding on, still got no momentum. Took a clob from behind as well, so maybe carrying a bit of damage, but finally gets up to some sort of speed and stops the hemorrhaging of the spots there as well. 31st he ends up, so such a horrid time to have a mistake is that first lap. It's just as bad as a slowdown.
Could get worse as well for him, because if he does have some damage, it's going to be tough for him to get the maximum speed he needs down this long main straight here at Monza. It's slightly shortened to what we're used to, but making a sharp right-hand turn into the forest. The forest? It's not a forest, it's a park, isn't it? But in through the trees, it might as well be a forest, because picking your way through this field of MX5s might be quite tricky, a bit like sometimes you can't see the wood for the trees out there.
I'm hearing some major crash. Maybe Craig Jones, or a couple of people in. George
That's
McClay.
At the back, yeah. Oh yeah.
But yeah, Jones, I believe.
They need to get out of the way actually, because well, they need to get out of the way fairly soon, because the pack are coming round fairly quickly. Craig Jones needs to just get it. He needs to get it in the pit lane. Surely.
Yeah, where is Craig? Oh, he's just trying to...
Oh, he needs to be careful here. This is where it could be a bit tricky.
Yeah,
he might just be waiting for the field to come through, and that might be a sensible option. You do not receive a fast repair here. There's a 20 incident limit for these 15 lap races. Van Gool leads the way then. He did have a 1 second lead after lap 1. That has evaporated. And courtesy of his teammate Brian Holmes at Youth Energy, here comes Holmes. Thompson, we know, isn't afraid to get involved in these sorts of battles. There's a bit of a cluster behind them as well. Nom, McCarron, Smith, and Thompson nudges Holmes, but in the process manages to get the better of Van Gool, Alex.
Yeah, it took a lot of speed in there as well, didn't he? So it helped complete the overtake for Holmes, but also got by. He's going to have the slipstream of Holmes, but actually closer. The effect is that much more, and that's what's allowing Van Gool to be able to get back alongside. Nowhere for Thompson to go.
I think we'll see the effect, and Van Gool's going for the lead again. Nicely judged on the brakes. That was a good move by Peter Van Gool. Really showing good things this season, Alex, and we've seen him feature very nicely in this MX5. Good driving all around from him and from Brian Holmes as well. If we look at the championship standings, so Holmes is in second place, Van Gool is in third. There's just 1 point separating them. And Alex, it looks like the equivalent of about 1 point separating them as they go nose to tail down the back straight.
Yeah, that's great. Great shot as they're down that back straight as well. Always is fantastic looking, back from Parabolica down differing lines. I thought for a minute Van Gool was going to go into the pits. I wondered why Holmes was so much wider, but yeah, just totally different lines coming out of there.
5 seconds separating the top 15 drivers over the line at the end of lap 4 here at Monza. Van Gool still with the advantage. Thompson sends it in really late on the brakes, actually. Josh Thompson is currently lying 14th in the Drivers' Championship.
Just jumped on board with Holmes there, and he's having to have, handfuls of opposite lockers. Thompson surprised him, I think, a little bit.
Van Gool's won twice this season. Holmes the once, and Thompson once as well. And Aaron Om's won 3 times, and you can see him now on the outside of the famous Parabolica, which used to be lined with gravel, Alex, and now changed somewhat with a bit of AstroTurf. It's a difficult corner, but maybe not quite the challenge it once was. It's still tough to get right every time, though.
It is a tough corner. Apologies, as Trade Paint seems to be doing its nut and refreshing everybody.
Mate, just to interrupt, I don't think this is going to go well, do you?
Nope. I don't know. 3 wide. We were on board. We couldn't quite see the full extent of it.
Holmes is wide. Holmes made a mistake. And then there's a bit of contact between, I think, Hedgecock and McCarron, possibly, as they went through the infield section
there as well.
That infield bit, it reminds me a bit of Brands Hatch. I mean, and maybe Zolder where it winds through the trees.
It just sort of comes back on itself, doesn't it, as well? I think that's what makes it extra tricky. But yeah, you're right. Oh, in the background.
It's McCain. Is it? Yeah, it is. McCain's had his chips there.
Thanks, I was looking for a pun.
Well, asking you shall receive. Oh no, at the front, Smith. Championship leader Smith has pit. And he was all over the place, and he's really just engulfed by this pack of MX5s, and the 00 of Trees Nice came in and couldn't get out of the way quick enough, hits him into the wall.
Didn't want to lift, did he, from behind there?
That took number 38, Richard Gafenko, out as well.
Just didn't want to lift behind, and poor Smith, he just didn't know what to do, did he? Where to put his car.
Leader of the championship. Well, he's got problems, Anwar Smith, now. He's parking it, Alex, I think.
Yeah, just having a look, see what happened initially.
Yeah, more crashing as well, actually. I don't know exactly who that is. I'm looking at the front of the field at the minute because it's Van Gool versus Thompson versus Nom, and in 4th place is Ben Haxon. Now, it has spread out a little bit as we reach the halfway stage here in the Monza Junior Circuit. Johnny Brandon there with Brian Holmes as well. And behind them is Nick McCarron.
Going to go on board.
What's McCarron going to do? Is he going to go for the middle, or is he just going to wait sensibly behind? And it's a good strategy from Nick. Blown engine there. That's Gafenko trying to make it back. Dangerous place for that car. Almost creating a smoke screen through there. Not the easiest thing to have to deal with in a tight section like that, Alex, I must admit.
Yeah, I just watched that crash back as well from Juice Nice's view. He moved over to try and get a bit of slipstream, realised how slow he was going, then got out of it. But actually, it didn't look like he made any contact from on board. So it's just one of those horrible where you just swing past and just snag him, and it's kind of like a Nick Code hit, isn't it, unfortunately?
On the grass. Sorry, Alex, Van Gool really closing the distance with Hackerson. Hackerson being persistent, maybe slightly foolish, but he's going through, and he's going to take the lead. He's outbraked Thompson, and he goes through, Alex. Brilliant.
Who was that who outbraked everybody, including himself? Was that Johnny Brandon behind? Just about held it on the track.
Thompson hangs on in front of Van Gogh as Gafenko
motor somewhere.
That's Gafenko again, mate. He's not made it back yet.
Oh, there he is.
I don't really see the point, really, with 6 laps to go of trying to get that back. I could understand if there were 2 to go, maybe, and he could get a point out of it.
Tugging away down there.
McNally is in.
Hedgecock side by side with Rizzo. Coming off the Parabolica, they've got Drew's Nice behind them.
Interesting then. Boosted Motorsport, Momo Racing. And behind them is Drew's Nice. And here's some more crashing. Is that just in the pits with
the front 3 again going into turn 1?
Robert Lundgren's very slow as well, just in front of the leaders. I say just in front, 2-3 corners in front, but they will catch him soon. I think he'll be out of the way before they reach it. The engine is still clouding the way for the drivers, and shrouding the Monza circuit in smoke.
That's to say, I can't really see.
Well, this is like the fog, the race with all the fog that we had the other night. Up the inside for Johnny Brandon into Parabolica. It's a tough place to get a move done, Alex, because the driver on the outside is always going to have a really nice, going to be able to carry some nice momentum, especially in this MX5 where it's all about that momentum, isn't it?
Who's that? That's Anwar Smith trying to limp round as well. He wants to see if he can stay less than 2 laps down. I don't think he's going to. There's 5 laps to go here, and they're lapping so much quicker.
16 drivers within 7.5 seconds of race leader Josh Thompson, who's got 5 laps to go in which to keep this lead here at the Monza Junior Circuit. You're watching the BSR MX5 Winter Series here on Apex Racing TV. Andrew Woodhouse here as usual alongside iRacing Pro Series champion and to return to the World Championship Series, Alex Simpson. And just a quick one, mate, on congratulations, I have to say, and must be pleased to getting that black stripe back now.
Yeah, that was the most important thing, you know, for me. That was the goal, that was the target. Happy to have done that with a couple of races to go, and then yeah, with the way it happened, with people who couldn't quite make it, the title become available as well. So I'm just happy to be in that position to get to pick up the pieces, you know.
Well, there's very good drivers that won the iRacing Road Pro Series before, so it does bode well going into the rest of 2018. And someone else is hoping to have a good 2018 is Johnny Brandon. He's in many series and he makes his way through on Aero Nom. Not always the easiest thing to do because Nom is he's a specialist really in this car. Josh Thompson hanging on nicely, Alex, and one thing that definitely behooves him in this sort of situation is the fact that he's very good on the brakes. He's one of the better ones out in the series, and it does help that people just can't throw. He has done this time. Van Gogh goes through.
Yeah, Josh had to get out of it, and that caused Hackerson to check up quite a bit, and Brandon now looking at Hackerson. We're going to be 2 by 2 by 2 by 2, I think, by the end of this.
I think you are right. It's like Noah's Ark out there, really.
Hackerson deciding he wants a different lane. He's having a look down the middle.
Oh, that was a different lane, wasn't it? That was something. It's like a race at Auto Club Speedway, isn't it? Where there are 4 or 5 different lines you can try as Brandon trying to force his way through, and Hackerson again as those two get pretty close together through that exit corner onto the back straight, which is turn 3, isn't it? There's only 4 corners on this circuit. Now everybody, I know there's only 2 or 3 laps to go, but everybody really back to about where Drew's Nice is really has got a chance of getting a top 5 here because there is potential for chaos.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Nom is on the grass now.
McIntyre, he is 1.5 seconds back from McCarran, so they're going to struggle. But you're right. If something goes off in this pack here, they very much could easily pick up a top 5.
Well, we saw that World GT Championship race, Alex, just a few short weeks ago, where we had one of the most amazing finishes I think I've ever seen. We had about 5 different leaders in the last 5 corners of the race. Something like that could potentially go on here. We don't have the chaos of the very anti-Ascari to do with here, but there is some lap traffic which could cause some trouble for the drivers at the front of the race. And Dries Nice has had an issue. He's gone onto the grass. Big problems for Dries Nice there. I wonder if I think he might have clipped the wall.
Yeah, again, another driver lost the momentum. When you just to sit and duck in this car, it's all about momentum.
So it's Thompson, Van Gool, Hackerson, Brandon, Nom, McNally, Holmes, and Nick McCarron. That's your top 8 drivers. They're the ones who've really got the best chance to take it here. Onto the final lap. White flag is in the air. There will be no surrender for these men out on the Monza circuit this evening. And Thompson,
Hackerson round the outside of all of them.
Is he going to
try and get the overlap?
Well, he gets one of them. He gets Van Gool. Thompson still leading the way.
Really, Brandon sticking his nose up the inside. Van Gool just didn't leave enough room. You have to wait. Oh no! Smash! That's what happens when you rejoin.
Van Gool there. Well, killing blow to his race chances, and then another one after that. He might not even make that back to the finish line. We'll see, but it's Thompson versus Hackerson. It's going to be very close to the line, this, Alex. I think Thompson's going to get it, but Hackerson now starts to pick up the slipstream. It's going to be close, but I think the fact that the line is on the inside will help Josh Thompson, and indeed it does.
Yeah, fantastic race in there. Shame for Peter at the end. Needed to give a tiny little bit more room. Perhaps didn't think that Brandon was going to be there. Surprised him a little bit.
I think Brandon was. It looked like Brandon was fairly optimistic though. There, carrying a lot of speed.
Yeah.
But that's the sort of accident that happens on the last lap. You know, I think if we start poking, if we start making.
Exactly. There'll be no racing at all. Yeah.
If you start putting blame on someone always on the last lap when they're racing half of the position, then I think it's not going to be a very fun sport, to be honest, because last lap things are going to happen. Drivers are not going to give each other, I think, the space that they need. But if that was a lap 2 or lap 3 incident, you'd be going, yeah, slap a penalty on one of them, but maybe the last lap, I don't know. But yeah, everybody seems to have finished the race now. So I'm going to take you through the finishing order then, as George McClay, last man over the line. Josh Thompson with the victory. Started second, takes the win over Ben Hackerson up by just 53 1,000ths of a second. Johnny Brandon is the man in third, with Aaron Om in fourth. Adam McNally in fifth for Youth Energy, with Brian Holmes in sixth. Nick McCarron in seventh, and Cesare Rizzo in eighth. Jack McIntyre, reigning champion, 9 for him. Kip Stevens in 10th. He's won the Winter Series before as well. Dries Nice in 11th. After that collision with Smith, Adam Hedgecock in 12th, 13th for Lorne Murray, 10 positions gained for him. 14th for Max Wright, Daniel McCauley, 36th on the grid to 15th. Good job. Michael Evdoka in 16th, John Roberts 17th, 18th for Luke Clark, 17 spots gained for him. Rob Graham in 19th, ahead of Joe McDonald. Then it's Carl Hardy, 17 positions gained for him. Michael Barry in 22nd, 23rd for Steve Hefford, 24th for Benjamin Mears. Then it's Jörg Dankert, 25th, 26th for David Ayers. Rafe Cullinan, 27th, 28th for Alan McCain. We saw him spinning coming onto the back straight. George McClay in 29th. We saw him crashing. And then one lap down, Peter Van Gool and Anwar Smith. They will get some points for that. And the retirements, well, there were 7 of them. Robert Lundgren, again, no luck, it seems, for him. No finishes either. Richard Warmingham, Len Lee Berridge, Thorstein Helgeson, Richard Gafenku, Jamie Ayres, and Craig Jones. As we saw, Alex did not make it to the end. He was quite an early casualty of the race.
Yeah, very indeed. So yeah, shame. Suppose I better get ready with the spinny wheel. Yeah,
we need to figure out who's going to be on pole, and it's not always an enviable task being on pole here at Monza anyway. In this MX5, Alex, I'm not sure I would be fancying it that much.
Yeah,
I was on pole here in a Ford Mustang, but the slipstream was non-existent, so it was fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's still going to be of some help because it is difficult to overtake, I think, you know, because there's so many people getting slipstream, so you should be able to hold on. Once someone gets by you, you can just slipstream them, so you should be able to stay in that top 10, I would think. So
those new to the series, whatever number Alex draws, that will go on to pole position. If it's a full, the last driver 1 lap down will take the honours.
Yeah, so don't go anywhere. We'll get this wheel spun and then Have a short break and we'll be back at it. Right, here we go then. Who's going to get the pole position? The next round. Ooh, kind of fun music. Wheel of Fortune, and we're going to miss the fall, I think. We have indeed. 24th is going to be Andrew.
24th, Alex, is Benjamin Mears. So he's going to be there on the front row with Steve Hefford just behind him. Very dangerous competitor there in Hefford. He'll be looking for the victory. Michael Barry in third. And Carl Hardy, 17 positions gained, gets him fourth. And Joe McDonald will be rounding out the top 5. So don't go anywhere here on Apex Racing TV. And the BSR MX5 Winter Series continues. We've still got 3 more rounds of action from Monza. We'll see you very shortly.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Truex in the outside, contact made. 56 slides it into 4. Who's going to be at the stripe? Dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Truex in the outside, contact made. 56 slides in at a 4. Who's going to be at the stripe? Dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, and
Welcome back to the grid at Monza, round 22 of the BSR MX5 Winter Series. Andrew Woodhouse and Alex Simpson here for Apex Racing TV. At 10 seconds away from the start, Benjamin Mace is on pole, Steve Hefford is second, Michael Barry third, Carl Hardy fourth, and Joe McDonald rounds out the top five. Race 1 winner, actually Josh Thompson, starting in 24th place. About ready to get underway again for the second time. You can see that second place, Steve Hefford, hasn't taken the start in his position. That means Benjamin Mace has a good opportunity to get away, and he pulls across to the right hand side for reasons only known to himself, I think. But he does take the lead, and then it's Barry, and it's Hardy, and then McDonald coming through as well. And a good start by Rob Graham, Alex, up to fourth. Oh, and he's not, oh no! Oh, he nearly lost it.
That's a great launch. Yeah, he's lost the momentum, hasn't he? But I think he's going to be okay.
Looking down behind Daniel McCauley, down behind Max Wright and John Roberts. Might lose out even to Lord Murray as well. Murray tries to go around the outside. Graham trying to make up for lost time. Having a look on the right in the Parabolica. Everyone else seems to have made it through the first lap okay. Birmingham, I think, started from the pit lane, as I think did Michael Evdoka and Steve Hefford, and possibly even Jamie Ayres, Robert Lundgren, and someone else as well. They're nearly 4 wide, Alex, into the first corner, as you can see. Between Graham and McIntyre, and and that's Dries Nice hitting Rob Graham.
It's so wide going in. Oh no!
Oh, there's a
McCauley,
crash.
I
This is
think.
going to be bad. This is going to be really bad. Oh, the track is.
Can't get a good view.
The track's it's quite blocked there. They've done a good job of getting it to the racing line, just about.
Yeah, McCauley got himself out of there quickly enough, didn't he? Did his best.
Oh, Johnny Brandon's hit with Jamie Ayres, I think. Yeah, they did a good job of getting that out of the way, because that could have potentially been a safety car situation. Benjamin Mayes then.
A lot of bashed up cars out there though, just where everybody's had to check up. Who's that? Is that Lorne Murray with no front bonnet on there and the back crumpled up as well?
I've got to say that this is a great opportunity for the 3 drivers that are left at the front: Benjamin Mayes, Michael Barry, and Carl Hardy. They've got a 2-second lead over 4th place Luke Clark. And Luke Clark's nearly getting hit by his teammate John McDonnell.
Yep, joke.
So if they start battling, then the front 3 will be gone, mate.
Well, yeah, it's already 2.1 now, so starting to stretch out. Geez, nice on the tail of, on the tail, side by side, and pulling ahead with Rob Graham into the back straight. And I think and Roberts slow as well. What was that all about? Or is he going through? No, Roberts going through, isn't it? So
goes through on Joe McDonnell. Good move there by John Roberts, Boosted Motorsport. Now, it's under attack by Michael Barry. Can't quite get the momentum though, Barry. Car 24 to draw alongside. Car 24, of course, very famous number in NASCAR with Jeff Gordon. It's almost like a bit of an oval, this, Alex. Similar characteristics in some shape or form with this car, but obviously with.
This is the closest you can get to a short oval, I think, isn't it? With on Monza anyway, so it's just got that little kink in one of the corners.
Yeah, 2
it's
kilometres.
It's the only bit of left turn you do.
Maybe a bit more like, comparing it to a circuit in NASCAR. Maybe the closest one is possibly Pocono, in that it is a mostly flat course with a tiny bit of the long opening corner in the Parabolica, a bit like turn 1 at Pocono. Obviously they're going right instead of left here.
Pretty wide for 4th place.
Luke Clark moving across just ahead of John Roberts, and you have to be so careful. You've got to judge that so well, Alex, and not quarter panel yourself. McIntyre going through, the champion, the previous series.
It's like you said, when you come over all gingerly and slow like that, you run the risk of the driver saying...
that's happened, it's happened. It's Graham and it's McCarron, sorry. In the infield section, Rob Graham gonna have to maybe reverse that back. Would that be better?
No, yeah, he's gonna have to reverse. It really is. It's just you're not gonna find a gap there.
If he reverses it all the way down the wall, he'll be able to sneak round it once that barrier ends, which is about now. And now we can get back going, and that's the better way to do it.
Nightmare.
Awful place to spin though. That.
The worst.
A bit like Bathurst, isn't it? There, where you just can't get any sort of room. The lead has changed hands again, then Michael Barry with it now. Mayes thinking about the lead again. I think they've got to think about making sure that this gap remains for a few laps, Luke Clark, Dries Nice, Jack McIntyre, John Roberts, quick drivers. And
still 10 laps to go. I mean, I know it's a short circuit, but still, it's 10 laps.
They only
need to catch up.
They only need about 1.5 seconds. They might have a 3-second lead, Alex, but only need about 1.5 seconds to be lost, and these guys will be right on them.
Yeah, that slipstream will catch him up, and you've got the likes of Thompson, Hackerson and that trying to hunt down this second pack right now as well. They're not too far away. Nom actually is in the second pack, so he's very fast. If he gets to the front of this, he could pull them all up towards that top 3. That would make quite an interesting climax to the race.
And that will, of course, have the effect of giving those guys the hurry up in that second pack, because they don't want Thompson in there. They don't want Hackerson or Holmes or McClay in there, who's got the pace to cause problems. And Roberts now. Roberts trying to get through on Aeronom, and he does make it. Does he? Can he keep it? Oh, he's wide. He's wide. He's crashed. Got Roberts into the barrier. And that is not where he wanted to end up. And this isn't only. Yes, he does make it round.
We were on board actually and just missed it. We were on board with Nom. Couldn't quite see him on the right hand side of us. Let's have a little look at the replay. Oh, he just snagged the white line in the grass, didn't he? And that was it. Bosh.
He was on the dirty part of the track, the marbles that had been left by the other cars. He was trying to hang it around the outside of Aeronom. It's a very quick drive. It takes a lot to do that, and Roberts tried his best, and just at that point his best not quite good enough.
1.9
to take 6th place away from the Estonian driver. 1.9, yeah. They'll be with them soon. Only half distance. In fact, there's an extra lap on this race compared to the first one. So we're doing 16 laps here instead of 15. Much to the chagrin, no doubt, of Mayes, Hardy and Michael Barry.
It's like they've put the relevant fuel in they need.
Yeah, they're pretty much there, Alex, anyway. It's nice will be getting the slipstream now.
Yeah, and the second pack is now also the third pack as well, so it's just one big group coming at them.
It's not quite,
right there.
Not quite game over for these guys at the front, because of course once you're in the big pack you can't make it work. But they would have liked that, of course, to have been decided between the 3 of them, you would think. Dries Nice and Jack McIntyre now. Car 00 versus car 1.
They've really been doing much overtaking, have they, the front 3, so they haven't slowed each other up. It's just these rather unorthodox sort of tight lines slowing everyone down. So
yeah, there's a bit of a few strange lines going on, but in general they've been pretty good. They haven't been fighting too hard, at least for the last sort of 5-6 laps or so. There was a bit going on at the beginning. Michael Barry leads the race, and this is the most laps led for him in any race this season.
And a lot of sort of defending on the inside, isn't there, where you really need to defend it, you know, sort of go to the middle, you know. I think they've been all right, Barry there, but Mies now got a good run.
Impressive driving by Barry.
Oh, he's going to go 3 wide.
Barry still leads the race at the line. Dries Nice trying the outside line. How nice is it going to be for him? Find out now as we enter the first corner, this right-hander. 180 degrees nearly. And good driving by Mies to stave off Dries Nice, and Michael Barry taking a lot of the grass. I wonder if he could pick up a slowdown penalty doing that. It appears not this time, but
yeah, seems okay.
I think you're all right there. Michael Barry, no wins this season. In fact, he's only finished in the top 10 once, so very impressive driving considering that from the AM driver.
Just needs to stay in the slipstream, doesn't he, now, of Dries? And it's going to make it difficult for anyone else to get a run on him.
So Mies lies 25th in the standings after 17 races competed, and Michael Barry is
becomes
26th, 1 place behind him. Aeronom has taken 3 victories this season. He's looking for number 4.
On the inside of the track, that will disappear.
Oh, he's not going to have much space here, though.
Oh, of course it doesn't, does it?
No, he doesn't.
Right. It's okay.
Barry goes in a bit late to the corner, and he's gone wide. He nearly hits the wall there, Michael Barry, but somehow manages to keep it all together. You can see Luke Clark in the mix now. Aeronom has gained 17 positions in this race so far.
That was Barry into the wall again. Just got the line all wrong out of there. Got no momentum now. Sitting duck as he heads towards the Parabolica.
Dirt on the tyres, I'd wager, Alex, from the previous trip to the grass. Look like understeer central. Oh, on the exit, and again, and that's Carl Hardy now getting thrown. These guys are getting really thrown out. Thompson nudges Hardy onto the AstroTurf. I think Hardy will appreciate that as Thompson making his way through the field once more. Started 24th, the man from the Isle of Man.
Yeah, he's got quite a bit of damage on the front of his car, so I'm wondering if he's suffering with a bit of drag as he's pushing Nick McCarron down the straight.
It'll be an interesting battle. Interesting battle going on here at the front between Dries Nice and Aero Nom. Haven't seen Dries Nice this season, I don't believe. Checking on the championship standings. He's only done one race, and that was the first one here tonight. So new to the series, although we've seen him in multiple series over the last few years. He's very competent in this MX5. We've seen that in the Ricmatech Sports Car Series in the past, Alex.
Yeah, always seems to put in a good showing and doing well now. You think he's literally single-handedly dragged that second pack up towards the leaders and gone through. Nomma's in that group as well. They're starting to break away a little bit. 1.5 seconds from McIntyre, who's under pressure from Mias again.
Top 9 are covered by 2.9 seconds. It's getting actually close. Hackerson way out of control. He's missed the corner altogether. He's going to have to turn around. He's on the full course there.
Yeah, I can't even get a camera shot there. So, I don't know what happened there. I don't know if he got a little nudge from behind or something in the braking zone, but it's sent him way back. He's down in 19th after recovering.
Thompson, McCarron, Clark and Holmes battling, and just in front of them you've got Mayes, who's hanging in really well in this battle.
Tom's lifting. Just went on board with him going into Parabolica. He's not even worried about it right now. He's just letting this gap try and build a little bit, I think.
Fuel, possibly?
No, I don't think so. I think he's just sort of biding his time.
Oh.
You know what he's like. He's one of the sort of the veterans in the Ricmatech series. They're very accustomed to doing that sort of stuff.
Let the other guy use his fuel up and let him use as a blown engine in the pits. Who that is?
Oh, it's very tight going into arm wide for Mias, and he's hit the wall.
Oh, he's hit the join. He's hit the join in the Armco. Is it that
not
extra
quite as bad
piece?
as Hackerson, but killed his position just.
Oh, and he's gone off again. I think he's got steering damage. He's struggling to turn right. So one thing you need to do on this Monza Junior circuit. So once we've been through the Parabolica this time, only going to be 2 more laps to go.
And more Swift
moving
himself forward to Van Gaal. Those two, obviously teammates, caught up in separate instants in the last race. Found themselves in 15th and 16th, so good job from them.
Yeah, with the very fast Richard Gefenku coming up the order as well. Gefenku hasn't really raced in this series previously, to my knowledge, but has done the World GT Championship. He's been a part of the BSR TC as well. Plenty of experience, lots and lots of experience in this MX5 in this group. Dave Cullinan's behind them as well. He did some good showings, of course, in the BSR Formula Renault series that ran for most of 2017. The Irishman Cullinan. The Berridge is at the front of this group as well. Back to the front then. When you look at Aero Nom's season, Alex, it has been a good one. 3 wins, 4 podium finishes, and he's been in the top 10 13 times out of the 21 starts that he's made.
Yeah, very quick. Caught up in a few incidents, and I think that's why he's not right.
Oh, they're over the white line now. Things are about to go down.
Here we go then. Last lap. Nom pulls out the slipstream for the first time. Takes the lead. Not much Dries can do about it. He needs to just sort of shape himself up so he can come back into the Parabolica, I feel.
But of course, the way that this track goes, that inside line, as you mentioned, it doesn't disappear. You have to cross the white line, really.
That's it. Yeah.
You do every time to go into that first corner, I suppose. As Nice. Where's the line going to be into the Parabolica? Is it going to? Well, it'll be the outside for Dries Nice, surely. What's Nom going to do? How much room is he going to give? Turns it in. Nice has got a good run. This is a good development for Dries Nice.
Too far back, I feel.
It's going to be close. I don't know, mate. It's going to be very close. Too far back. Oh, he's made it. He's done it. Dre's nice.
Well, wide line in. Really made the difference, didn't he? Got that drive out. Fantastic. Shows what I know.
Momentum. Yeah. You've never driven at this track before, have you?
That's how you do it. I remember that. That's in the that's in the green. Oh, what's this on the final lap? Evdoka and Ayres, I think it might be. No, yeah, it is.
Oh.
And I don't think David's going to be able to get it out. Oh, he has just, but it's cost him a few places. What is this?
Line, though, that? Van Gool's dropped down the order on the final lap, Alex. Something's gone wrong for him. He lost 20 seconds, Peter Van Gool, on that final lap. He was running in 16th place.
Evdoka pushing Ayres across the line just to try and help him out. I don't know what went on between those two, but I thought for the minute he was going to come back and ram him. But as it is, he's just helping him across the line.
Well, if he didn't do it, I'm sure Kip would have done. Well, Kip would have rammed Evdoka possibly, but take through the finishing order then for round 22 of the season. Dries Nice with the win by just 2400ths of a second. Amazing race at the front. Iranom in second, Jack McIntyre in third, Josh Thompson fourth, Nick McCarron in fifth, and Brian Holmes in sixth. All the top six made up at least 13 grid positions to be where they finished. Luke Clark started 7th and finished 7th. George McClay made 21 places up to come in the top 10 in 8th. Joe McDonald in 9th and Max Wright was 10th. Carl Hardy 11th. And then Michael Barry, who led so much of the race, finished in 12th in the end. Lee Berridge was 13th. Anwar Smith 14th. 15th for Rafe Cullinan. Richard Gafencu in 16th. Ben Hackerson was 17th. And then Steve Hefford, P18 for him. Jörg Danke 19th. Jamie Ayres 20th. Peter Van Gool 21st. And then Craig Jones 22nd. Rob Graham was in P23. He was ahead of Adam McNally in 24th place, with Richard Warmingham 25th. And then Kip Stevens 26th. David Ayres 27th and Michael Evdoka 28th. We saw that. Adam Hedgecock was one lap down, so if it is a full, it will be he that goes on to pole position. And then Benjamin Mayers had to retire 2 laps from the end, as did John Roberts, Alan McCain, Johnny Brandon, Robert Lundgren, Lorne Murray, Dan McCauley, Thorstein Helgeson, and Cesare Rizzo didn't finish the race either. In fact, I don't think he started it.
No, doesn't look like he's done any laps at all on the timing screen. So yeah, another good race. I feel good one.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. This Monza Junior circuit is really throwing up some excellent performances. And Alex, speaking of performance, here's your time to shine, mate. You've got the reverse grid wheel, and you're going to put somebody onto pole position. Who are you going to give the champion's advantage to?
Here we go then. See, finished off on the 24th last time. Let's give it a spin. Full. Missed that. Looks like it's going to be a small one again. 22nd it's going to be.
22nd this time means that pole position falls to Craig Jones. So he's going to be starting there with Peter Van Gool just behind him. That's a get out of jail free card for Van Gool, isn't it? With Jamie Ayres in third. Jörg Danke is going to be up in the top 5 for the first time today. And Steve Hefford will be joining him in 5th. So join us back here in just a few short minutes when the BSR MX5 Winter Series carries on from Monza circuit in Italy.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
On the outside, contact made. 56 slides it into 4. Who's going to be into stripe? Dead even. Give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly,
Ciao a tutti and welcome back everybody to Monza, the Domo Nazionale Monza to be precise, in Italy. Andrew Woodhouse, Alex Simpson here for Apex Racing TV in the BSR MX5 Winter Series, and we're on the third race of 4 tonight. And on the pole is Craig Jones, he was the recipient of the reverse grid wheel. And then Peter Van Gogh was in second, Jamie Ayres in third, Jörg Dankert will be starting fourth. And once again, Steve Hefford not taking the start, so I wonder if those are penalties, Alex, to serve on previous rounds.
Yeah, he did have a bit of a ropey round last week, if I remember rightly, so got caught up in a few things, but yeah.
Go then. Red lights are going to come on in a second now. Round 3 is going to be underway here at the Monza Junior Circuit. Here we go. Red lights are on. And the green light is on. Great start by Van Gogh. Jones was very tardy getting off the line. And that's going to allow Jamie Ayres to surely take second place away from Jones as well. The first corner, it's Van Gogh leading the way.
Start by everybody there.
This part that we might get a few issues though, of course. Tight section of the course.
Oh, someone in the Duff car. Almost a carbon copy of what happened to Ayres, I think it was.
I think it's McDonald, Alex. Had that issue.
I think you're right. Yeah, very slow on the inside of the circuit there.
No momentum for
Almost
him at all.
all the way to the back.
Pole sitter down to third is Craig Jones now.
Oh, runs wide out of the parabolica as well. That's going to allow Hackerson to get a much better sort of slingshot out of there and past.
And he'll get the slipstream off of Ayres and Van Gogh. On that side of the circuit, now Van Gogh moves over to the left-hand side, which is as normal here at Monza, the outside for turn 1. It's just we brake here at the end of the pit lane instead of a couple of hundred yards further down the road for the Rettifilo. Go through this very tight, twisty section, which it looks great fun to drive actually. Lots of changes of direction and got to be fairly precise, and you've got to be savvy how you maintain the momentum in this MX5. Not a lot of power in this car, Alex, but it does handle nicely.
Actually, it's a really fun car to drive, and one of the ones that they've modelled very, very well. And
of course, they had the iRacing, they had what was it, the Road to Mazda thing, Road to Pro thing, whatever it was. And with Glenn McGee winning that, I think, and yeah, it was one of the ones that we had. There was a lot of participation in. And it's a car that never seems to get old, really, on iRacing. I must admit, I have to say, after watching, as I'm going to see Ayres going for the lead, trying to go around the outside of Van Gogh. Oh, he's going to try it. Yes. Oh, what a move by Jamie Ayres.
hearing something as well. Someone caught up in something else.
What
further back. Oh,
lead,
look.
though.
Trying to see who this is, but we've got a lot of cars very slow.
McIntyre, is it? Is McIntyre been
Nice
in
is slow. Stevens is slow.
Berridge.
Jones.
Berridge was in 8th place. It was all around that area of the track. Let's see. Oh, wow, there was a pile-up and we missed it.
I'm going to see if we can get it back. See what's going on.
Oh, it was at turn 1, so it started with... You need to watch Lee Berridge going into turn 1, Alex. You can see that he gets hit by Cullinan. And then Smith comes in and hits the scene as well. A few cars start crashing further along. I don't know if you found it yet, but
yeah,
a few cars have to take evasive action a bit further around. Oh, because somebody spins. And it was... Oh, Craig Jones, our pole sitter, he spun in the middle of the track. He got really hit hard by one of the Bodak cars. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen that.
Trying to get it back at some decent angles, really, because yeah, a lot of people collected in that.
Take us through it definitely when you get there.
Yeah, and I tell you, Craig actually got hit, didn't he? Because by the instant in turn 1, and that's really where it chipped up. So let's have a look, and that caused him. That's got suspension damage, and that's why he's come around. Yeah.
Richard Gafenku's taken the lead. Whether he can keep that over the line or not, I don't know. It's going to be quite close. And actually at the line, just 33/100ths of a second. And now it's Peter Van Gool in the middle of the sandwich with Gafenku and Hakkisen, and he decides very sensibly to not bother with going up the middle there. I would like to say definitely I agree with that decision. Hakkisen round the outside. Van Gool this time. Van Gool slots in behind the boosted motorsport car. And them actually is Jörg Danke, who started 4th and maintaining a good pace, is the German.
Yeah, 5th at the moment, but still very much in the sort of the range to get a good slipstream. Both Cullinan behind them.
Jamie Ayres, that's had a good... Oh, he's wide. Hit a right hash of the Parabolica. The momentum might save him, Alex. The wide line that he had might just rescue him. Although Hakkisen might need rescuing in a minute as he's 3 wide. Not a lot of room. Oh, there. He's going for the lead. Gafenku defends hard. Hakkisen is late on the brakes, but he goes a little wide. Makes it work.
Yeah, it was good. You know, I think he knows, you know, if you're just a little bit wide there, carry a bit of speed, you can actually get the high ground because you'll have the inside for the little left kink. And actually you're in a good position to get a good run out down this this back straight as well.
Brave move that. Alex, I'll tell you what, we haven't done it tonight, so why don't we go on board for a lap with Jörg Danke possibly, as there is still about 4 league going on.
Yeah, let's do that. We can witness that.
He's gone wide. He must have heard his name.
Well, we can still do that. We can still witness the lead battle that's going on front of them. They're 3 wide now as well. It was 1.2 seconds back, so he's on about far back as you want to be for slipstream. What he has got is enough time to react, as we see Rafe Cullinan to our left. Oh, a little bit of collision going into that corner. Oh, it's quite bumpy there, isn't it?
Yeah.
I didn't realise how bumpy it was going through that corner.
We just
They
don't
just
use
go
that
through
part
the
of the
seam
track.
of the track. Look how much he closed in on these guys as well through this section, just because they were sort of all fighting. Gets a good exit out of there. So right, left, right, and then we head down towards the Parabolica. Not surprised there's 16 laps here, because this race is this lap is over and done with so quickly.
Yeah, I wonder if we could maybe let's stay on board again and just to see those bumps in that first corner again, because that looked like it was quite severe. Hakkisen looking for the lead. We just get the timing over the line. Oh, and it was Ayres actually who had the lead over the line by...
Why is Danke lifting?
No, he's not.
Oh, he's letting his teammate
Holmes
go.
through.
Yeah, Holmes and Smith. Tell you what,
yeah.
we'll come.
It's almost like a level change, Alex, when you
Yeah.
come off the main course onto this one. Danke losing, it's just hemorrhaging places.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
about
understand.
5 places in the last couple of corners, really. Here's not Jamie Ayres, sorry, Richard Gafenku, who's in the lead. He is going to be in the box seat. However, as we said earlier on, leading here is all well and good, but it's not always the best place to be, is it?
Yeah, no, I think
Oh, he's edging Hakkisen out to the left.
we've seen people being able to take the win from the front, and also those in second place going into the Parabolica. So it doesn't matter which way you do it. There's options.
Oh, and Hakkisen's wide line's working. Oh, it's cut off by Gafenku. Guys, thank you very much. I'm going to keep that lead. Then it's Jamie Ayres in third, who looks like he's having a pretty good season. He's in 6th in the championship. He's taken a win so far. He's been on the podium 4 times for the 5th one here tonight.
Peter Van Gool just lifting out there. Definitely had the run on Jamie, but decided that probably better to do it in towards the turn 1. They're so close behind as well. Anwar Smith, Rafe Cullinan, Brian Holmes. Smith obviously needs a good race as well after the first one.
Needs to catch a break, doesn't he? Anwar Smith, really. 13 thousandths of a second was the gap this time. 3 wide into the first corner. It's Ayres who goes from third to first in one corner. He has to lift Gafencu. He would have been in a bad spot. Now he's in a good spot. He gets the slipstream off of Hackerson. What can he do with that? You can see as well there's another drivers who tagged along to the back of this group include Aero Nom and George McClay.
Oh, 3 wide there as well. They just scream through Parabolica, the lead pack. That little group works its way around there. No issues, no contact. Good driving.
Hackerson and Gafencu again side by side. Going to the line again. Hackerson's got the advantage, so he's got a nice big juicy slipstream off of Jamie Ayres, and he sort of gets his place in the queue, so to speak. Gets out of line, into the lead. Gonna have a look up the inside. He's Jamie Ayres, he is. Or can he do it on the exit?
When you're on that tight line, it really does push you wide. You just don't get that exit, do you? Hackerson is going to have to give the place up into the Parabolica again.
Benku going to go for this?
Yeah.
But he's fully alongside. There's no reason why not. Hackerson, oh, he tries to pinch them down.
I don't think he realised they were 3 wide there.
He's only
that was a
pinched
mistake.
himself.
That was a mistake. He just didn't give them room. There's 2 cars to the inside of you, Ben.
The spotter would have mentioned, I guess. There were 2 there. Holmes now, look at this. This for Brian Holmes. He was 5th. He was 4th at the finish line. He might be in the lead coming through turn 1. Oh, it's unbelievable, Alex, if Holmes can complete this move.
Angle not giving it up though, is he, teammate? I think Brian will get a better run. Actually, the person who got the best run was Jamie Ayres, and if it wasn't for Peter blocking it. Sorry, it wasn't. It was Holmes blocking it. It'd have been through.
Where's Jamie going to go though, Alex? Surrounded by youth energy cars.
Yeah, he can't go anywhere, can he?
Well and truly boxed him in. It's like one of those police shows. It's like Road Wars or something like that. And here comes Gafencu again. He's not finished. I'm not finished with you yet, he says.
Grass.
Oh, he was nearly finished himself. McClay now. But he's got more momentum than him. He goes with Aero Nom past Anwar Smith, past Richie Gafencu. And Nom now up into 4th place. Seems like there's a few different opinions on what the best line is through turn 1, Alex. I'm still not sure.
No, me neither. It's all... They've all worked, haven't they? That's the problem.
Exactly. Some are sweeping in late. Some people are taking an early entry into the corner. Some are even using the grass on the inside to pull the car around. Kind of strange corner that people aren't used to. Top 9, you can see them on your screen. 2.2 seconds is the gap between Brian Holmes in 1st and Jörg Danke in P9. Gonna have 3 laps to go, mate, at the line, and I think you'd be stupid to try and call a winner here.
Yeah, no way. All the way back to sort of 7th, still got an opportunity for this. Maybe even Rafe, if you can just get a little bit closer to Smith this lap.
We've got the slipstream, mate, so I don't think that'll be a problem. And actually, like you said, he'll have some, like with Jörg earlier on, he'll have some time to react, will Cullinan, through this section if anything goes wrong. Danke's good through turn 1. He closes up about 3 or 4 tenths of a second nearly every time. Holmes has a slight lead, but he just can't break away. Nobody's really expecting to break away here, but Holmes certainly would like that as he tries to break the toe. But futile at best, isn't it? Got to make sure he takes his line into the Parabolica.
Yeah, Nom sweeps through as well past Peter Van Gogh. He should get the slipstream this time of Ayres, but they're almost 4 wide coming off the Parabolica.
Nom was actually ahead of Van Gool at the start of the previous lap, but Van Gool took that place, and now Nom says thank you very much, I'll have that one back. He'll take P3 back, but for how long? The answer's not very, because Van Gool already up into 3rd place. Now Nom takes it back.
Ayres to the lead. Oh, gets a little bit out of shape.
Slight contact between Cullinan and Smith, I think, as well. Gafenku's in the wall, Alex, and Cullinan's round.
Dankert as well, caught up in that.
Oh, and they've just hit Carl Hardy as well. There's only going to be one lap to go after this one, so most of these drivers should be able to make it to the end. But yeah, Richard Gafenku, the unlucky party. I didn't even see what happened to him, to be honest. I'm going to have a quick look as the white flag is set to come out. Oh, he got on the grass. He hit George McClay, and then he spun round. He was lucky to spin where he did. He could easily recover.
Traffic ahead. This could be. Oh no, it gets out of the way. Well out of the way.
Yeah, it's car 60, and that is Alan McCain, who's just gone one lap down. He's got no front end at all on that MX5. And here comes Holmes, and to control the rear end of this race. The last lap,
nudge.
and he nudges Ayres wide. Ayres isn't going to be happy about that at all. On the final lap, Brian Holmes.
Through the middle.
Now they're going to be 3 wide, so there's very little chance for Ayres to come back in this, unless he nails that wide line, just like Aerodom did in the previous race.
Yeah, it was
not at all.
Dries,
It was
wasn't
Dries, nice, sorry, yeah.
Got it, yeah.
And he has nailed it. Look, maybe Ayres is going to do it, I think, Alex.
Can he pull out though? Can he pull out?
He's going to have to, and he tries to. To the line, he's going to be so close, I don't know. I have no idea who's got that. And it comes up on the timing screen, and it's Holmes. And it's 3/1000ths of a second.
Great driving from Ayres. He really was in the worst position there, and he managed to get that out of it, but just couldn't quite get in the end. Holmes defending.
That is what you call not giving up. And brilliantly done. Fantastic. John Roberts, Michael Evdoka, wow. It's close. Evdoka took that on the line. 19th place goes to him. Man, what a finish that was. We've had 2 absolute crackers, race 2 and race 3. Race 1 wasn't bad either in terms of the finish, but 3/1000ths of a second, you cannot get much closer than that. When the funny thing is, Alex, some people they'll watch motor racing for years and years and years and never see a finish that close. I think that's only the 5th or 6th closest finish we've ever had on Apex Racing TV.
That's it. Yeah, we've seen it as a dead heat, haven't we? Yeah.
Seen a couple of dead heats. We've seen 1,000ths of a second between Mike Dam and who was it at Daytona the other week?
I think it might have been Nom.
Yeah, he was Aeronom. So, and Nom finished. The amazing thing about Monza, and I always say, I mean, he did host the closest finish in F1 history. In terms of number of cars coming across the line within like a 1/10 of a second or something silly. George McClay, 3/10 of a second behind Brian Holmes. He finished 5th.
That's crazy, isn't it?
So what will he have to do? He will be thinking to take the win. We've got to go through this finishing order for you, ladies and gentlemen, on what's been a fantastic race here today. We've got one more still to come as well, so do not go anywhere. Do not think that we are finished here on Apex Racing TV. We are not finished yet. Brian Holmes takes the win by 3/1000ths of a second over Jamie Ayres. Brian Holmes starts 17th on the grid. That's a fantastic race by Holmes. Come through. Aeronom in 3rd. 21st he was at the start. Peter Van Gool in 4th. George McClay 5th. Anwar Smith in 6th. Then it's Carl Hardy in 7th. Adam McNally 8th. Johnny Brandon made 24 spots to finish 9th. Rafe Cullinan was 10th. And 11th was Richard Gafenku, despite his crash on the penultimate lap. Max Wright in 12th. Jörg Dankert 13th. 14th was Lon Murray. And then Rob Graham P15. In fact, Lon Murray gained 21 places. Well done to him. Adam Hedgecock 16th, 17th Steve Hefford. Robert Lundgren 18th from 34th on the grid. Good performance there. Michael Evdoka 19th, 20th John Roberts, 21st or Joe McDonald. Nick McCarron 22nd, 23rd Luke Clark. Alan McCain 1 lap down. We saw the state of his car with a few laps to go. And then the retirements. Actually, there were loads of retirements. Ben Hackerson out. David Ayres out. Richard Warmingham likewise. Lee Berridge. Cesare Rizzo. Kip Stevens. Dries Nice. Jack McIntyre. Michael Barry. Craig Jones. Benjamin Mears. Josh Thompson. Daniel McCauley and Thorstein Helgeson didn't take the start, Alex. So that crash that we saw earlier on, turn 1, really did absolutely wipe out quite a chunk of the field, about nearly a third of it.
Yeah, it was a nasty one. We couldn't really get a good shot of it, but when we did, we could just see everyone was piling in there, and it was just so difficult to get the cars sort of slowed down. You're blind going through that corner, so you hear the yellow flag, you don't realise how bad it is until you come around the corner, and
then you see
the track's blocked, yeah.
And then all the smoke, and then everything else, and then it's pretty difficult. Although you're going to make someone's life hopefully a lot less difficult by putting them on pole position. The Wheel of Fortune's going to come out for the third and final time tonight.
Well, let's jump straight into it and give it a spin. The Wheel of Fortune music. I think we've got a fall coming in play here. Yes, we have.
Ball goes to Alan McCain. So the reward for going round with half a car for the most of the race is the fact that he'll be starting with a clear track in front of him. Luke Clark's going to be alongside him, with Nick McCarron in third, Joe McDonald in fourth, and John Roberts in fifth. Michael Evdoka was sixth, and he just picked Roberts at the end of the previous race. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens here, and you want to find out as well, don't you? So stick with us here on Apex Racing TV, when we'll be back with more from the BSR MX5 Winter Series in just a few moments' time.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Truex in the outside, contact made. 56 slides it into 4. Who's going to be into the stripe? Dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Welcome back to Autodromo Nazionale in Monza. You're on Apex Racing TV for the BSR MX5 Winter Series. It's round 4 of 4 tonight. Final blast through the Royal Park here. Andrew Woodhouse alongside iRacing Pro Series champion, World Championship driver 2018, Alex Simpson. Alex, a quick prediction for this one with Alan McCain on pole.
Well, I think final race is going to be elbows will be out. I think we might see a couple of big crashes in this one. If I'm honest, it's been relatively clean all night long. But yeah, race 4 always gets a little bit more feisty.
The return of the Max at the front, Alan McCain on pole with Luke Clark second, then Nick McCarron, Joe McDonald in 4th, and then John Roberts in 5th. So going to have a battle there. Who's going to be the Big Mac? This one. A whopper of a field, 37 cars. And it's a charge into the first corner as the green light is on. McCain immediately moves across the circuit to try and cover off Luke Clark, who always seems to make the good starts. Has done from second place here. He tries to find an opening up the inside, but McCain is wise to it. He just takes his own line through there, which is key. We haven't seen anybody break away at the front tonight, Alex, and excuse me, I'm not sure that's going to change here because just the slipstream effect is massive.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think we're going to have another race very similar to the ones that we've had, where maybe a group will try and break away, but then the chasing pack will come back at them.
What a shot, by the way, looking down that back straight at this field.
I have to confess, we were not looking down on my camera, but I know the shot you mean. There you go, we caught a little glimpse of it right at the end there.
A lot of cars. 37 cars. It's funny, 37 cars isn't a big grid for these BSR races, really. It's an average sized grid, but still a great spectacle when you see it. And McCarron looking to make a move. Clark is in the slipstream of Aeronom. He doesn't have any space to pull out. He does, and he hits McCarron. That's ill-judged by Clark. He was overzealous there. He lost the place as a result. He stayed behind McCarron in 3rd. But yeah, not very well judged at all, Alex, in that one.
Yeah, it's Nom's teammate, of course, not McCain, not him at the front. But,
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, sorry, you said it was Nom that they were on the slipstream of.
All right. Yep. Sorry about that.
But yeah, like you said, Clark just a little bit deep, and somehow McCarron's got damage on that front right, isn't he? That's going to affect him just a little bit. It's not a huge amount in the
well, that's because Clark
MX5s,
came out and whacked him, wasn't it?
But it's going to give him a little bit of slower straight line speed, which is the last thing you want here.
A good slipstream though.
Good first lap. We've lost 4 people though, I think. Thorstein Helgeson, Michael Barry, Richard Warmingham, and George McLeod.
I think Helgeson doesn't take the start, so I wonder if he's just doing some stewarding out there today. On the outside for McCarron, that's really, really good.
Right. Straight through.
Superb
Just
move.
whistle.
And the first time tonight we're seeing Steve Hefford near the front of the field.
Pete Van Gaal. Well, he's facing the wrong way and into the pits. Who else was involved in that one? If I can get a replay.
Oh yeah, it is Nom and it's Cullinan. And it was Van Gaal. Van Gaal came steaming in. I don't think he was going to make the corner. Nom ends up in the wall and into Rafe Cullinan's car.
Oh yeah, you're right. There's no way he was making that.
McCain versus McCarron. Going to be interesting. Hefford as well is there. We haven't seen Steve near the front of the field. Seems to have had some penalties of some kind. A couple of pit starts maybe as well. Hefford going to have a try for the lead. See what McCain can do to try and counter that manoeuvre. Oh, and he nearly hits McCarron. McCarron gives him a little bump. And through goes Luke Clark. So Clark versus McCarron might come to fruition there. Car 8, Nick McCarron, and car 39 is Luke Clark.
Yeah, Hefford to the lead then, quite comfortably. Good move. But there's that shot you were talking about. We haven't quite got all 37 in there, but that was a good 35 there.
Most of them, yeah, apart from the 2 or 3 that have gone. But Roberts is in 5th place.
3 wide, look at that coming off the parabolica.
Was that Lundgren, McNally, and is that Lundgren, McNally, and Brandon that you're looking at?
I think it was, yeah, there we go. Just get far enough back. Lundgren has to settle in behind.
Boosted car, it's the Nuke Youth Energy and the Bodak Racing. And through goes Brandon on McNally. Nicely done there. Watching Jörg Danke, he always seems to make a great bit of time up in that first corner. Seems to have it mastered. Steve Hefford mastering the race at the moment, but as we've seen in the past, if just as recently as the last race, it's very, very difficult to break away here.
Clark up the inside of John Roberts. Roberts wants to atone for his mistake that he made earlier on when he buried his car into the wall. Back towards the front and
using another green area on the outside as well to try and get that momentum. Working well for him at the minute. Alex has got staying ahead of Clark. He's right in the slipstream of the 2 Momo Racing cars.
Yeah, McCain a little bit deep, going into turn 1. Of course, he'll have the inside for the left-hander on the grass a little bit, so just have to make sure he doesn't push too wide. And I have to say, Clark gives him some room there, didn't he?
Have you also got that really good camera angle on that inside wall on that little bit?
Yeah, a couple of times that's cropped up.
Makes it look really fast through there. It's not a slow circuit. There isn't really what you count as a slow corner on the circuit. Turn 1 is sort of medium speed really for these MX5s.
It's just that bump I think slows them down more than anything, you know, because looks like the car just gets a little bit out of control.
What kind of
Going on
speed they are
further
doing.
back, Benjamin Mias, Kip Stevens and Dan McCauley, they were all very, very close coming through Parabolica. We're on board with Mias. They were 3 wide for a moment there, but sort of
McCarron.
Himself out.
McCarron's going for the lead, Alex. I think he's done it. Yeah, he has.
And through. Let's get a replay of that typical. I step away for just a second.
Oh! Oh, he's all sorts of out of shape there. Yeah, I was looking, it's about 80 kilometres an hour, so it's not a really slow corner, it's still 50, 60 mile an hour corner. Do there. Here comes Roberts having a think about a move on Hefford. Hefford and McCarron, and teammates, of course.
Roberts needs to get in and amongst these guys, I think, because right now they're just, they're being quite considerate to each other because they can and their teammates, but once John gets in there and starts muscling around a little bit, it's going to be a bit more tricky for him.
I don't think there's a lot of love lost between Boosted and Momo Racing. I just get the feeling. Really hacking out on the track sometimes between the 2 teams. Here comes Roberts. Spends it in pretty well, actually. I've got to say, that's an excellent run by Roberts. Karen gets on the grass slightly, but he's got the move of the race so far. I think Karen around the outside earlier on. And joining the party is Richard Gafenko in P5. Started 14th on the grid, so making his way through really nicely. 9 positions gained for him. Luke Clark is still in the pack. He's in 6th. But really, Alex, this is one big pack now.
Yeah, all the way down to...
Found Josh Thompson in 19th, maybe Max
yeah,
Wright
yeah,
in
19th, 20th place, Max Wright, right, just on the tail end of it, but yeah.
Just hanging on, isn't he, Wright? Thompson's got a bit of damage. Looking at him, Drees Nice he's with at the moment. But those two making their way up to the pack. We haven't even talked about lap times tonight because they're kind of pointless, really, aren't they? Because you've got that kind of just because of pack racing that we're having.
Yeah.
Just having a look at the lap times. Josh Thompson is a quarter of a second quicker than Steve Hefford on that lap, so
all about the slipstream, really, isn't it? Getting it in the right places and things like that. Everyone can be almost as quick as everyone else out there tonight.
That's it. You could have the guy at the back of the field doing the fastest lap. Just being, oh, Jörg Dankert's crashed. Jörg Dankert's crashed coming out of the infield section. That is a fairly big one for him.
Oh, he crashed into the wall and then got tagged on the right, so I'm guessing he's got some pretty hefty suspension damage.
He hit
Let's see what he does.
I think he just put a front wheel on the grass, and it looked like it just unsettled the car. It bounced around a little bit and just smashed into the tyre wall.
Problem, is that Lee Berger problem? No, I think that was just a connection problem there. Oh, look at the front, it's getting really tasty now. We are 1 second separates the top 6.
Oh man. Adam McNally could still win this race. He's P9. Is how much fighting there's going to be going on, I think, in this pack. So it's Hefford, McCarron, Roberts, Gafenko, Brandon, McCain, Clark, Murray and McNally.
Yeah, great shots. They're all trying to find the room, want to get by. Very reminiscent of I'd call this of like sort of a Daytona 500, you know, where you're just trying to find the right line that gets you further up the pack, you know, with the draft, without getting dropped back, you know.
Yeah, it's all about positioning, isn't it, in a race like this? And you almost have to have the same mentality as you do in the Daytona 500. Because have you competed in that before?
Yep.
And I definitely have. You'll know what I mean then when I say there's a point in the race where you just go, right, I'm going to go. Go towards the front, or you try to you start making your way towards the front, and you feel that the drivers are kind of doing that here tonight as well.
Oh no!
Oh, Roberts!
There goes Roberts.
Oh, well, he's not making his way towards the front now. He's exited the proceedings.
Fenker up to 3rd. That's a great run, 11 spots. 2 more to do. It was go time for him at the start of the race, apparently.
Yeah. Did a good job getting up there quickly, Hefford. It looks like it's going to be between Hefford, McCarron and Gafenko, but never really count anybody out.
Yeah, don't count Johnny Brandon as well. He can put in a good lap.
Never count out Johnny Brandon just because of how quick he is.
Fenker around the outside, tries to get one with the Momo cars, but just a little bit too deep, and all of a sudden Brandon's right on his tail as well. That's how it goes. Oh, a little wiggle for McCarron through there. He doesn't get a very good line off. He will, of course, have his teammate to slipstream, but Gafenko much better drive. You have the inside for the Parabolica.
Johnny Brandon's not had the best season, actually. He's down in 29th in the championship. I'm not quite sure how. Someone of his skill. And it's Hefford, then Gafenko, then McCarron, then it's Brandon. Behind Brandon is Clark, but the gap is growing out to 1.5 now between those two. So, and in fact, Murray's going to come through and take 5th place away from Luke Clark. So, Lorne Murray's really going to have a good lap here, Alex, if he's going to have any chance of tagging onto the back of this group, as we have 4 laps to go. Here comes Brandon.
Yeah, he's about 5k slower down the straight because he just didn't quite have the slipstream of the guys ahead.
Good move by Johnny Brandon, Alex.
Up to 3rd.
Late on the brakes, and he just sort of, it was the car racing equivalent of a block pass as Hefford makes a real hash of that exit and the infield. Turn 3 has caught a few people out today.
Not the run he wants. That has allowed Gafencu. Brandon again caught back up after the move.
Brandon's got that perfect entry point to the Parabolica though, hasn't he? He's got the line that's won the last couple of races. That late line, late apex. Allows the slipstream on the inside. Oh, and he's being squeezed by Gafencu. Gafencu's got to be careful he doesn't squeeze him too much. Now, where's Johnny Brandon going to go? Oh, he can't go. Well, he could go to the right. There's no real... do they have to wait until the markings? Really? Oh, contact. Gafencu's nerfed aside by Johnny Brandon.
Not a hard hit, but you saw the bodywork bend up a bit there.
Hard enough, I think, if you're Richard Gafencu. I think Lord Murray and Luke Clark are still in this race. McCain has had a problem. He's had a problem. He's had a spin in turn 1, and it was Jamie Ayres that assisted him in that spin.
All the way down to 19th.
The top 6 are the ones now. They are the chosen few. And
2 laps to go as they cross the line then.
This half dozen here. Oh, as Gafencu getting pushed onto where the old advertising logos used to be on the inside of this Monza circuit, and Gafencu's going for it. He's never going to make it. No, he doesn't. He misses the corner, and Steve Hefford avoids him really well. Now Luke Clark's going to go through. Clark knows he's got to get on with it with 2 laps to go if he wants any chance of winning the race as well.
I think that's Clark out of it as well. I think
slowed him down too much, didn't it?
Yeah, 1.5. It's going to take a miracle to catch these guys now.
Bon Murray's got a good chance, you know. He's completely unscathed in terms of the car. He's got no damage, at least on the back of the car. Is it the same for the front? Yes. So, and he's been putting in some good lap times. 57.3 compared to 57.8 of Hefford.
Needs to get a good run here, doesn't he? Out the Parabolica, try and get a slingshot past all of these.
Brandon and Gafencu are done, I think.
Yeah, way too far back. 1.8 now. Here comes McCarron. Needs to have a run. He needs to get into second place.
It's Brandon who's getting into second place, Alex. A really well judged move again. Superb by Johnny Brandon. Oh, and Hefford.
Poor line from Hefford.
He hit the grass on the inside, I think. Oh, this is going to be a sitting duck here, I think, no matter which way he does it. He can't weave around like that too much. Got to just pick a line and stick with it. But I think Johnny Brandon's got the line. However, he can't be too cautious into the Parabolica because I think McCarron's going to take it from him. If so, he's going around the outside, is Brandon. I think. Oh, it's going to be so close. Hefford's hitting him. Hefford's made contact with Brandon, and that could just provide the boost that he needs. Steve Hefford, he's going to take it. Oh! Could be some controversy there, as that was a little bit of a tap. Steve Hefford did what he needed to win, and it was a great win.
That was close, wasn't it? Just watching it from outside as well. We were on board at the time.
What finish? Yet again here. It's 4 races, 4 great finishes. Oh, John Roberts has blown the motor on the final lap. Probably will make it. Doesn't have a lot of power left in that MX5, and he may lose out to Rafe Cullinan. In fact, he has already lost out to Rafe Cullinan. But he will at least make it to the line. That engine is completely done. Right then, final results of the evening here on Apex Racing TV. Steve Hefford with the win by 0.028 from Johnny Brandon. Nick McCarron in 3rd. Lorne Murray in 4th. Great charge through the field by Murray. Richard Gafencu in 5th with Luke Clark 6th. Brian Holmes 7th. Jamie Ayres 8th. And Ben Hackerson in 9th. Those guys just pretty much ran out of laps in the end. Joe McDonald in 10th. Adam Hedgecock 11th. Josh Thompson 12th. And 13th was Rob Graham. Robert Lundgren in 14th. Max Wright 15th. 16th for Cesare Rizzo. Daniel McCauley in 17th. 18th for Lee Berridge. Alan McCain was on pole. He finished 19th after a spin. 20th Michael Evdoka. Stevens in 21st, 22nd for David Ayres, 23rd Craig Jones, Benjamin Mason 24th, Cal Hardy in 25th, Anwar Smith 26th. He's not had a great night's racing. Must admit, the man who was leading the series at the start of the night. Rafe Cullinan in 27th, John Roberts 28th as we saw, and then the retirements: Adam McNally, Jörg Danker, we saw him crashing at turn 3, Dries Nice, Aaron Om, Peter Van Gool, George McClay, Richard Warmingham, and Michael Barry. And Alex, that is pretty much all we have got time for tonight. What a good meeting that was around this circuit. I think whoever's put the calendar together has been has done a really great job with the choice of tracks.
Yeah, I agree. The Silverstone the other week was great. This was great. There's been a few other little ones as well. Even the road to Atlanta short last week was great. So yeah,
I think they're understanding this car and what makes racing, I think, aren't they? In this car.
I agree. Because you don't want the massive long places, because it is a bit of a snooze fest.
Hey, Daytona is the example, isn't it? That's the one that is the worst one, I'm afraid, because the racing doesn't mean anything around there, because it's all just about that final lap. All about the final run to the line. You could argue it's the same here, but you've got to position yourself better, I think, than what you do at Daytona, because it's just harder to overtake, I think, around this track. Okay, thank you everybody for watching. Thanks to Alex again for the stream, as normal. Join us back here on Thursday evening when the BSR Rallycross continues, and we'll be looking forward to some more thrills and spills, I assume, around this very layout. So from all of us here at Apex Racing TV, it's good night from us, and we'll see you on Thursday.